Hi, my name is Tyrell. I am a dementia consultant and educator here in Canada, and I've been in the seniors care industry for over 27 years. I started out in long term care in the recreation department. Over the years, I've had a variety of different roles, including being an executive director for an Alzheimer's Society in Ontario, to also being a part of the design team for the very first true dementia village in Langley, BC. I am so pleased to be a presenter for the 2022 Hearts and Hands Conference. I'm looking forward to sharing my passion with all of you. This is a short, let's say, overview of the main topics I'll be sharing at the live conference. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out. You can find me at my website, dementiasolutions.ca. All right, so let's get into it. This is the mini version of the workshop that I'll be doing at the Hearts and Hands Conference coming up on the topic of dementia care and coping with past trauma. Again, my name is Tyrell, and I'm the author of the book, Cracking the Dementia Code. So we'll get straight into it. First, I just want to share the definition of what is trauma. According to the dictionary, trauma is the lasting emotional response that often results from living through a distressing event. This is something that people are carrying with them, that lasting emotional response throughout their life. A traumatic event can be a single recent traumatic event, or it could be a single traumatic event that occurred in the past. There's some examples here of some really difficult situations that could happen. But because you're in the seniors care industry, it is very common for you to be working with older adults who are reliving a traumatic event that happened in their past. There's more information on understanding traumatic events, but I'm only keeping this high level for now. PTSD is a post-traumatic stress disorder, and this is when thoughts and memories of a traumatic event don't go away or they get worse. And it's also known as a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event, either something that they've experienced themselves or the individual witnessed in their lifetime. I want to talk about triggers and flashbacks, but just a quick review about triggers. Basically, it's any sensory reminder of the traumatic event, whether a noise, a loud bang, or smells, the temperature in the room, or other physical sensations, or even visual scenes, whether in front of them or on television. The word re-traumatization is basically any sort of situation that the person is involved with at that moment that could be reminding them, relating to their past traumatic experience. And in that moment, those memories are becoming very vivid for them. And this could happen in many types of scenarios, whether, let's say, in a washroom, a bedroom, the way people are talking with them. They could feel as though they're going through a re-traumatization of that event. It's so important to learn. Knowledge is power. Being trauma informed, especially in dementia care, is going to help you. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there's studies that are coming out that they have found that people with PTSD have a significantly higher likelihood of developing dementia than those who do not. It's important for you to know this because you do work with older adults, and the rates of PTSD are higher in the geriatric population, as well as among those who are facing the end of life. Again, it's important to be trauma informed in your work. And knowing that the behaviors that may come about when a person is going through a re traumatization or they've been triggered, those changed behaviors in an individual that's living with dementia may indicate a post traumatic stress event. Not all, everyone will be different, but it's possible. I teach in my programs, my workshops, and in my book, Cracking the Dementia Code, that there is always a reason for behaviors. There's meaning behind the behaviors. And I really hope people believe this and they don't just think, oh, the person is acting this way because they have dementia. No, there's always a reason for the behavior. And I'm hoping that by understanding a little bit more about trauma, that you will have more sensitivity for these individuals who may be experiencing a post-traumatic stress event. So it's important to become the detective, to dig deep, to understand the reason behind that behavior so that you can better support the people you're caring for. Ultimately, the goal here is to try to promote a sense of safety. In that moment, that person needs to feel safe and they need to know they have a good connection with you. And they also need to know they can trust you. So, overall, keep in mind if you're in the moment with somebody who's changing their behaviors and you think it's because of a post traumatic stress situation, please provide this main goal of safety, connection, and build that trust. I want to share with you the 4 steps to best support somebody in the moment. And so let's take a deep breath. Here we go. Step number 1, validate their feelings. Unfortunately, this step gets missed a lot. I don't see this happening all the time, and there's so much value in doing this. What it means is whatever that person is feeling in that moment, whether they're feeling worried or scared or frustrated, just call it out and say, I notice you're worried, or I see that you're worried, or I can tell that you're scared. I can tell that you're not happy right now. One sentence, just call it out. And you'll see that person starting to feel as though, oh, you're noticing. Good. I'm glad you notice I'm not happy right now. I'm very worried right now. So validate their feelings. All humans would like to be validated. Just so you know, the opposite of validating is telling the person, oh, stop being so worried. There's nothing to be worried about. There's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing to be upset about. That is not helping. That can actually make your situation worse. Start off the whole situation with, okay, I can see that you're worried. And I like to throw in the second sentence, I don't blame you for feeling that way, helping them to feel that they're normal. I don't blame you for feeling that way. And then, yes, check. You've done some validation for that person. Then the next step is just reminding yourself to stay in their reality. No matter what happens after, in that moment, just stay in their reality, because a lot of people try to pull them out of their reality. No, your kids are older now, they don't need you, or your husband's passed away, or there's no war right now. Whatever that may be in that moment, if you're trying to pull them, you might not have the success you would if you stay in their reality. Another thing I want to share is, while you're going through this in that moment, is the huge importance of providing that person with some reassurance. So staying in their reality, but then saying, I think everything is fine now. And maybe you can say, let me look into it for you. So in this time of providing the reassurance, I call it therapeutic reasoning. You're reasoning with that person in a way that's logical to them. You're not trying to fight with them. You're reasoning with them. And doing so, you can provide a benefit to them and others around them and yourself in the form of reassurance. And then providing that overall peace is what will take place if you use this moment to reassure them of their worries, even if it's not the full truth, but you're doing what you can to keep the peace. Some examples could be, okay, I see you're worried about that. I don't blame you. Let me look into it for you. Instead of saying, "You're wrong, that's not what's happening. Let me just stay in their reality. Let me look into it for you." Some other opportunities, you may need to help them to feel as though their concerns are solved. Provide them the reassurance that everything is safe now. Those people are gone, or your children are fine. Whatever you need to say, provide them that reassurance, whether it's verbal or written. A lot of people need to see it on paper that they're reassured, their fears, their worries, their upset has come down. It's solved. We know with their short-term memory in supporting somebody with symptoms of dementia that they may not retain all that you're telling them. So that's why it's important to provide both verbal and written reassurance, and reminding us all that it's more important to keep the peace rather than for you to be right in that moment, to say, no, no, try to bring them back to reality and give them the truth in that moment might not be successful for everyone. So it's okay to use therapeutic reasoning to help the situation, to provide that reassurance they're desperately looking for. And then step 4, and only after you do all these steps can you then offer a distraction. Unfortunately, a lot of people think in the world of dementia care, all you need to do all the time is redirect, distract. But if you try to do that too soon and you don't validate their feelings, and you're not staying in their reality, and you're not providing that reassurance before you distract, you're not going to have the success that you would had you followed these 4 steps. And just a reminder, some distractions could be things that they love to do, whether it's puzzles or like housework, or maybe singing and listening to music. So changing the mood into doing things that they love or that they're really interested in. A recap. This is a quick recap of what I'm doing for that presentation. But remember, validate their feelings, be in their reality, provide that reassurance they need, both verbal and written. And then you can offer that distraction to help bring that person down, to get them through that scary, traumatic moment that they're going through, that re-traumatization. This is just a quick way to support you in your role. And just one last reminder, we want to provide them the feelings of safety, connection, and trust. If you're interested in learning more about dementia care, I have a free online Zoom online live session with me coming up on ways to reduce conflict in dementia care. If this is important to you, and if you feel you want to feel more confident and successful in your role, then I'm inviting you to come out to listen to the talk on Tuesday, November 1st. It's going to be in the evening from 6 to 7 p.m. You will learn more by going to my website to sign up, dementiasolutions.ca, and you can look under the upcoming events, and it'll show you there how to register for this free Zoom talk with me. I just want to say thank you so much for all that you do and all that you have done over the last many years, however long you've been in the industry. I can only imagine all that you've been going through, especially through this pandemic, but please know that you are very special people to be in this field of caring for others. And I want you to stay well, stay strong, and never stop learning so that you can do the best job that you can in supporting these people. Thank you. So to stay in touch, you can go to my website, dementiasolutions.ca. And you can join us on all the social media platforms. And we would love to stay connected to passionate people in the world of dementia care. So keep up the great work. All the best.